Is Wes Watson going back to prison? Well, we're going to talk about this a little bit and make our assumptions and our opinions on today's episode of today's Misguided Mentors. Welcome back, guys. I appreciate you popping in here. So I just got word that Wes Watson was arrested. Don't know if this is true. It seems legit. We all know that Wes Watson has lately been on the fence about being charged for assault with the recent video that was put out where he was actually assaulting somebody at a gym. Not only him, but it was all his buddies around that were kind of jumping in on it as well. And they used weapons. And if you guys have not seen any of that footage, check out John Bravo's videos or Matt Cox's videos. There's definitely other people that have covered that story as well. Well, finally, the guy who was assaulted is pressing charges, and Wes Watson can no longer hide behind his statement that it was self-defense. Clearly, if you watch the video, any smart person can make the analysis that was not self-defense. So anyways, we all know that Wes Watson was in prison at one time. So if he gets assault charges, I think it's safe to assume that he's going to go back to prison. For how long? Who knows? Obviously, it depends on the amount, the severity of the charges, and things of that nature, which were pretty bad. I mean, the guy was beat up. I think he lost some teeth. His hair was ripped out. He got beat up pretty bad. I mean, he was beat up by several different people. So what's up, Josh? How you doing, brother? Yeah, man. So if you're just hopping in here, I'm talking about Wes Watson going back to prison. I think that's definitely gonna happen. Earth is flat. Nice. Say that to Wes Watson. So anyways, if you guys don't remember, I called out Wes Watson early, like a year and a half ago. And the reason for that was because he shot me, or his system automatically shot me a generated, I think it was actually him though, because he sent me something asking, hey, let's scale your business or something like that. Let's scale your coaching business or something. And I ended up saying, oh, what did I tell him? Oh, so he didn't know this, but I'm already a RevShare partner with Brad Lee over at Lightspeed, who ironically is probably the person who hosts his coaching videos on. Brad Lee hosts all like the big people's training videos like Andy Elliott and Grant Cardone and Brian Tracy. I mean, there's even old videos with whoever's running Zig Ziglar's financial things and his coaching. Eric Thomas, just a lot. Everybody pretty much has spent money with Brad Lee and invested in his training system. So anyways, I've done the same thing. And he didn't know that, so I showed him a shot of it and said, hey, you mean this coaching business? And I let him know, like, yeah, I'm already taken care of, man. And I already do business with the same person you do business with. So, and we both know that it's very professional. It's top of the line and all that. So I'm good. And so he just kind of ghosted me after that. And so I kind of was picking on him after that. I was like, that's it? Like, you're not even going to ask anything else? Like, you found out that I'm not interested in buying anything from you or getting involved with you. And so now you're just going to kind of off me like that. So I don't know how it escalated, but I eventually was kind of prodding at him saying, hey man, I'd love to have a conversation with you, like an Instagram live or something like that. I think he said like, nah, I'm good, bro. And I don't know, he kind of made some really, I don't remember exactly. Maybe I should have brushed up on that before I started talking about this story, but it just came to me talking about this part of my experience with Wes Watson. But anyways, he said something to me and I started just sending him personal videos and posting videos of me calling him out because I was really trying to draw out a productive conversation. And when I found out he wasn't going to do that, I was kind of making fun of him a little bit. I was like, man, you're scared of an Instagram live and all this stuff like that. Well, he eventually blocked me. And so I started making more videos, spent a little bit of time on it. Obviously, I eventually dropped it. And then I started talking to a couple buddies of mine on Instagram Lives about it and started making my assumptions. I knew immediately that Wes Watson is a loss leader with false confidence. The guy's full of shit. He's really not confident. He's really only there to serve himself. And which is why I got the message, like he found out, oh, he's not doing any business with me, so I might as well just block him and get him out of my my face. He's not worth my time. And so I was just calling that out. And he obviously didn't like that. So anyways, my opinion since then of the guy is that he's very self-serving. The guy is only fixated on money, ego, pride, working out, talking about prison all the time. That was the other thing I started calling him out for. Was I noticed very quickly when I started like analyzing him amongst many other people, was that like this guy idolizes his prison time. Like there's something wrong about somebody who is at a public speaking event and he's sitting here talking about his 10-year prison sentence. And not only just talking about it, but glorifying it. I've heard other people talk about going to prison and coming out the end and transforming their lives and having a hero's story told. But the way he told it, you can feel the energy of him actually glorifying that prison time and that prison sentence. And that was his identity. Like, and so much to the point that he's like doing prison gang signs on his videos and stuff. And it's fucking stupid, in my opinion. Like the guy never actually went past prison mentally, I realized. And like he was teaching through that, he's kind of just encouraging people to also idolize the fact that he glorifies his prison sentence and encourage these young males, these wannabe alpha males to idolize him for that. So it's just this weird thing that he's created, and he's just one of many. There's other people that do the same thing. I'm going to do a separate video on Andy Elliott. Obviously, Andy Elliott hasn't done any prison time, but he has a very similar approach with his coaching company and his mentorship and how he does business and how he treats prospects and how he talks to the people that follow him and the people that are interested in that like him. So I'm going to talk about some of those things because the big question is, why are people attracted to this stuff? Why are people attracted to someone who very clearly is mentally unstable? He's an emotional wreck, meaning he just loses his shit. If you've never seen Wes Watson, I'm just going to show a quick clip of, in case nobody knows who I'm talking about. You guys can make your give me your thoughts on what let me see, let me get that logo off there we go. Yeah, here's just one small clip of him.
So you guys, there's a video online going around of some monster ass fool pushing some keyboard warrior princess little punk bitch by his neck. You pussies are in the comments going, he should press charges. No, he should get pushed by the neck and then get his fucking head stepped on, and everybody else should say, good bitch, don't talk shit to a monster if you're a little peon pussy fuck. You guys need to know your fucking place before you get put in it. You guys are so fucking soft, it's disgusting. Wake the fuck up. All
right, so I can't stand to listen to that guy talk, just because he's such a poser, in my opinion. To me, he's posturing so hard. The guy lives... Oh, what happened here? We got something going on. There we go. The guy lives in prison fantasy land still, and he just hasn't moved past prison time mentally, like I was saying. So it's very clear with the way he speaks, how he treats people, how he talks to people. So the way he does this, by the way, is this is what I like to call, I've talked about this several times, but I like talking about the same things because this channel is basically meant to help entrepreneurs or just people in general identify misguided mentors and self-serving entrepreneurs, and navigate the self-development space. So with that being said, I want to bring awareness to how these guys are able to put themselves in a light that makes it attracting for alpha males. I'm choking. For alpha males, for anybody who looks up to that type of leadership, which is crazy. Dying on my own dry throat. What's up, lads management? Wes got arrested again. All right, so everybody knows that he assaulted somebody at a gym. Some troll went over to, yeah, call it clickbait, call it whatever you want, man. Welcome. But the fact of the matter is, I'm trying to help people wake up to how these guys are actually able to make it themselves attractive to young men, young entrepreneurs, alphas, so-called alphas, things of that nature. And one of the tactics that they use is what I call Stockholm syndrome. It's a form of Stockholm syndrome. So what they do is, and I've talked about this, Andy Elliott does this too. They like to talk shit. They like to make fun of you, say that you got tits, you're fat, your bank account's low, you're whatever. You heard him calling the guy on the video pussy and all these different things, right? So they're trying to make fun of you, right? And then they're going to turn around and say, I'm telling you this because I care about you. I'm telling you this because nobody in your life is telling you this. And the people that say they care about you don't care about you. Otherwise, they would tell you this. And so I've talked about this several times. By guys like Wes Watson and Andy Elliott and other people that do this, by doing that and framing it that way, it's like, oh, they actually do care about me. And more specifically, they're the only ones that care. And so now they've framed the narrative that nobody in your life cares about you truly. And this person is the only person that cares about you. And now they got the answers. Now they've really framed it so where you're going to be seeking them for success. You're going to be seeking them for the guidance. You're going to be looking to them for leadership. It's fucking terrible. Like, this is not, why are we looking up to stuff like this? Why are men and young entrepreneurs looking up to guys like this? Like, it's terrible. So that's one of the reasons why. Obviously, he's got some emotional control issues. The guy's super mentally unstable, and it's going to show. And I hate to. And the funny thing about this is, I was watching the podcast with Matt Cox, and I forgot the other guy's name, but he was talking about this, and he said something that is what I've been saying quite a bit. He said, I think Wes is a good guy deep down. I've been saying that about every single person I've called out. Grant Cardone, Andy Elliott, Wes Watson, Ty Lopez, Andrew Tate, so on and so forth. I've actually been saying that. I'm like, I think deep down, they're a good person. They're just fucking lost. They're lost leaders with false confidence. They're misguided mentors. They've been taught the wrong things. They're out here idolizing ego, money, pride, sex. They're serving themselves. And the more temptations that they take, the more deceived they are, the blinder they are. And this continues to go on. And the more they project that, everybody else is blind to too. So let me give you an example. Because one of the questions I'm asking is, why are people attracted to it? Well, if you yourself are attracted to that stuff, you're attracted to Lamborghinis, money, women. I got a sneeze coming on, so bear with me. I'm trying to fight it. Bless me. All right. That was the first sneeze I've ever done on air. Oh, that was great. So if you yourself are chasing money, chasing your pride, ego, materialistic things, then that's going to attract you. Seeing Wes Watson roll up in a Lamborghini, buff, if that's attractive to other men, seeing, and some other aspects as well. But a lot of men want to be fit. A good looking, strong man is something that all men would like to attain, right? So that's attractive. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Everybody likes to look good and feel good, health wise, and with their physique and physically speaking. But it's when you start serving yourself and idolizing yourself and leaning on your self-pride that it becomes a problem. So if you are attracted to all that stuff, you're obviously going to be attracted to guys like this because that's what they embody. All right. So ask yourself this question, like, honestly, if you're a dude and you watch this video, whether it's now or later, like, ask yourself the question, what is it about this person that attracts me to them? I just asked this. This is not an answer for me. This is one of the things that me and my girlfriend do a lot, and it's something that she kind of taught me, is that asking yourself the right type of questions, or when you're talking to somebody and trying to get like an authentic, productive conversation with some good answers and feedbacks, then ask the right questions. I just did this with my daughter, and she was showing me a video with this girl on TikTok that she obviously liked. She's like, I like this girl. She made a video. She's 14 years old and all that stuff. I can't think of her name right now. But anyways, I turned that into a project for my daughter for her to understand herself better. And so I asked her some questions. I was like, what do you like about this girl? What are the things that you like about this girl? And she wrote a bunch of those things down, and I encouraged her not to just give surface level answers. She did a great job. And then the other questions are like, what can you do in your life to get more confident, or what can you do in your life to attain some of the things that you like in this person? And so it just turned into a good assignment because of that. Long story short, the importance of this is I was asking her questions so that she can learn more about herself. So I'm asking you guys to do the same thing. Anybody who looks up to Wes Watson, you look up to Andy Elliott, you look up to Andrew Tate, all these guys who are all muscle bound, Alex Hormozy, all these people are jacked up on steroids and in the coaching and self-development space and the mentorship space as leaders. Why are you attracted to them? Ask yourself that question specifically. Like, don't cut corners on this. Like, this is for you to understand yourself a little bit better. Like, ask yourself, is it their muscles? Is it their leadership? Is it their confidence? Is it all those? Is it, their materialistic things? They got the house, they got the jet, they got the Lambo, they got the girls. Well, Wes Watson had the rented girls. But you know what I'm saying? So ask yourself those questions. It's really important, I think, for you to understand more about yourself. But, those are primarily a short list of what I just mentioned right now. That's a short list of the things that typically people are attracted to. And it's the wrong thing. Clearly, like, nobody should think that's all right. If you have not seen that video where Wes Watson and his friends ganged up on this guy, whatever, you can say that the guy was out of place for coming in and challenging Wes or whatever. We don't even know what was said. We know in the video he stepped up to him, kind of invaded his space a little bit, and then Wes Watson stood up and was like faking throwing his belt at him or whatever. Next thing you know, they started just swinging on him, and they beat him up pretty bad. Like I said, teeth were missing, hair was pulled out, the guy was on the ground. And he was getting hit with dumbbells, I think, and a belt, and there was guys from different directions hitting him. So it wasn't fair, and it certainly wasn't self-defense like Wes Watson keeps claiming. So go take a peek at that, because I don't think that's going to get him out of prison with this anymore. Matter of fact, I knew immediately once I seen that video and I heard this story, I was like, he's going back to prison. Like, he's definitely going back to prison. Like, I had no doubt. And it's not a shock to me because of the way he behaves. He projects so much false confidence. He projects so much of that prison energy still. He's trying way too hard. I can see the insecurity in him. I can see and feel that he's not actually confident, and he's still just created a facade. And it's quite sad, to be honest. I feel sorry for the guy, to be straight up honest about it, because I did see some videos with him years ago, and he sounded a lot different, and the way he spoke and the things he spoke about are not in alignment with the stuff he speaks about now. For instance, he was talking about, like, not caring about money, not caring about materialistic things, and not chasing certain things. Now that's all he talks about and clearly embodies and idolizes and glorifies and encourages other people to glorify as well. So it's literally night and day. You can see the difference. His reactions are different. I mean, the guy is he's off the chains. That dude's off the rails. Once he's got a very short fuse. I don't know if that's related to steroids or not. Maybe you guys can let me know if anybody does steroids and watches this video. I personally, I looked into steroids, but once I found out that it was cancerous and it was actually a carcinogen, I was like, I'm good with that. I don't put anything in my body that causes cancer or may cause cancer. But I don't really shame anybody on steroids either. I poke fun sometimes, but I have some good friends that are on steroids. So it's all in fun. It's playful. It's bad though when it's like, I don't know, being used for stuff like this, being used to portray this alpha image and attract a bunch of good people, young entrepreneurs, and then deceive them and manipulate them, harass them, shame them, bully them, interrogate them into doing business with you when you actually don't give a shit about them. You just want their money. You just want to serve yourself. You want to serve your pride and your ego. So it's terrible, man. All right, let me make sure I cover some of these topics. Hey, if you guys are, what's up, guys, on Instagram? If you have not subscribed to the YouTube podcast, please do that right now. It's called Today's Misguided Mentors. Either click the link in my bio or just go to YouTube and put in Today's Misguided Mentors and subscribe. Because pretty soon I got a long backlog list of people I'm going to be interviewing, and the podcast is going to end up converting into a interview podcast, which I'm super excited about because I want to talk with people a little bit more. So appreciate you guys' support. All right. So we talked about the alpha attraction, the emotionally unstable. Deep down, he's good. He's encouraging idolizing. We talked about the Stockholm syndrome. I think it's important for people to understand what I'm saying with the Stockholm syndrome. I will just keep beating that topic to death. Like, these guys act like they care about you by putting you down. They put you down. They put your physique down. They put your make fun of you because you're not making $500,000 a year or $100,000 a month or whatever fucking outrageous claim that they claim they're doing. They're putting you down, and then they turn around and say, I'm telling you this because I care about you. Nobody else is going to tell you because they don't care about you. That is Stockholm syndrome. That is a form of Stockholm syndrome. They're trying to get you to care, and it works. Some people, there's a good amount of people that are like, oh, I think he does care about me. Oh, he actually does. Yeah, I could see what he's talking about now. And they buy into that narrative. They buy into that. And next thing you know, you're going to start paying anything. You're going to listen to anything they say. You're going to adopt their thought process. Man, they got your mind after that. They got your mind after that. And that's what they're after. Your money is just secondary. They get your mind. They're going to get your money over and over and in perpetuity. So pay attention to that. This is all a psychological chess game that these guys are playing. This is part of NLP tactics, whether they know it or they don't. So pay attention to that. The Stockholm syndrome setup is super real, and it's happening to so many people, especially when we're talking about these the like alpha leadership space. All right. So the other thing is, these guys don't encourage this enough. Another reason why people are attracted to these guys like this, who are all jacked up on steroids, preaching coaching business and mentorship, and they're going to tell you how to make $250,000 in a month, or like Wes Watson, he made $50,000 in a day or whatever fucking outrageous claim he makes. I don't believe any of that. Like, don't get me wrong, he probably made some money, but that guy is full of shit. He's definitely exaggerating. And so he would actually get way more credibility if he was just honest, which is funny, because the honest part of what he actually does and how much he really makes is probably still a good achievement for him. But instead, he exacerbates things. He lies. He makes stuff up. It's quite crazy. The other thing, though, I want to mention that gets people roped into this type of leadership is you're seeking outside yourself. These guys are not encouraging you to look inside yourself. And if they are, it's fake. And that's just another good message for them to hook you. Because when someone tells you to seek and look inward and realize you got everything you need inside you, all the tools you need are within you, that type of narrative, you can tell by their actions whether or not they believe that, or they're just saying that to use fake vulnerability, which that is another thing I want to point out, because that's another thing that these guys are good at doing, and it's a tactic. But let me finish this. I always tell people that, like, we all have the tools we need. We have everything we need inside of us. This is not some woo-woo stuff I'm talking about. This is not some tree hugger concept. This is not some spirituality, la la land type of thing I'm suggesting. This is real. You do have everything you need inside of you. And The one way you can tell, I just talked about this on a podcast at Podfest. The one way you can tell that you are under some good mentorship, or if you're just getting shitty advice, is either this person that you're getting mentorship from or looking up to is encouraging you to look inside of yourself for the answers, or instead they're encouraging you to seek them for the success, seek them for the guidance. They're going to show you the yellow brick road. They're going to take you and your business to the promised lands. Everything's going to be worked out. Put your trust in me. I'm going to do everything for you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you the playbook. I'm going to give you the template. I'm going to give you this is how you do it step by step. It's all bullshit. And that is how you can tell if someone is actually a good leader or just a good person in general. They're either going to encourage you to look inside of yourself or to seek them for the answers. That's one of the problems that's happening. And this is one of the reasons why they're able to get people to seek them for leadership and get brainwashed into thinking that these type of people actually care for them. Next thing you know, they're throwing just thousands of dollars at them. They're consuming their content. They are ultimately adopting their mindset and becoming brainwashed and effectively in a cult at that point. It is a very cult-like mentality, a very cult-like structure that's being created for them to rope you in for with that attraction. So pay attention to that. Again, ask yourself the right questions. Why am I attracted to that? Do I realize I have everything I need inside of me? Is this person that I'm looking up to or getting advice from, do they actually care? Are they suggesting they have the answers? They're going to show me how to be successful, all that stuff. Ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself those questions and learn more about yourself. I'm going to encourage you that. Okay, I just brought something up here a second ago. The fake vulnerability. One way these guys, especially these alpha leaders, that they're able to, and it's not even them, it's everybody. Today's misguided mentors are good at attracting you with fake vulnerability. This is actually how I was attracted to lots of people, but ultimately when I got mentorship from Grant Cardone and became a 10X business coach for several years, it was thinking back on that. One of the reasons he hooked me was because of his fake vulnerability. So he started telling the story of his dad, how he lost his dad when he was 10 and all that stuff. And he hit me with the feels. He got me in the emotional part. And, my dad split. I mean, my dad didn't die when I was 10, but he split when I was 3. So effectively, he died in my life because I never seen him again. So I kind of connected on that level with him like that. And he roped me in with the fake vulnerability. And I noticed he's really good at that because every time I'd go to 10X headquarters and hear him talk, he would also do that as well. He would also bring up relatable things and project vulnerability. But ultimately, I realized it was fake, but he would project his vulnerability so that you would drop your guard. And that is a tactic. That actually is a cult tactic, is to get people to drop their guard. Now, dropping your guard is really only safe when you're around people you can trust. Not saying you should walk around being scared all the time. You should walk around always being defensive or doing that. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm saying is you don't want to drop your guard in a predatory type atmosphere. You don't want to drop your guard around somebody who is a very self-serving individual, because they're going to prey on that vulnerability and exploit the shit out of you. All right. They're going to take your true vulnerability and use that for them. And they were able to do that because they had fake vulnerability. They acted like they were being vulnerable with you. I've talked about this before when it comes to public speaking. I've noticed in the public speaking space, networking events, all these big conferences and stuff like that. That's one of the things they do also is they start storytelling quite a bit so that they can come off as though they're being vulnerable, which is why you'll hear some of the worst, some of the stories of people like going to prison, people being raped, homelessness. It's all a lot of the same recurring stories, really. I was, I didn't have two nickels to rub together. Now I'm a millionaire. All these hero stories that are very similar, but those stories, if you're not careful, if this is a self-serving person, those stories are meant to drop to project fake vulnerability. So they're only doing that to appear as though they're being vulnerable when really they're trying to get you to be vulnerable. So they have fake vulnerability, which in turn gets you to drop your guard, be vulnerable, and now you're open. You're open to be preyed on. Now your vulnerability is going to be exploited, and it makes you easy pickings for sales and things like that. You're getting set up to be aggressively sold, and it makes it very easy for them to do that to you and make you make decisions, or convince you and coerce you into making decisions that you normally wouldn't be making if you had your guard up, or you were a little more protected rather. Having your guard up just has a bad feeling because of just the way that's put. I would just say protected. That's a better way to put it. So be careful, because I've noticed these guys use the fake vulnerability thing. So ask yourself that question. Since I keep saying this, and I talked about the value of asking yourself the right questions so that you can learn more about yourself, ask yourself that question. If the person you're looking up to, or the person you're getting mentorship from, if they're constantly, being vulnerable with you, but then all of a sudden they're like aggressively trying to convince you and harass you and interrogate you into buying a course or something like that, that's fake vulnerability. Like, the whole reason they're doing that is so they can actually convince you a lot easier. So these are all tactics. These are all like, these are very calculated ways that these guys are able to get inside your mental, and really, it's a form of mind control. And again, I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're out there, dude. Like, nobody's controlling my mind. Nobody's brainwashing me." I would question yourself a little bit more. Like, and this is why I was asking you to ask yourself these questions. Why do you like these people? What is attracting you to them? All these questions I asked you guys to ask yourself, truly do it. I mean, I think I just gave like 3 to 5 different question examples for you to ask yourself. Write that shit on a piece of paper. When's the last time, if you're watching this, when's the last time you asked yourself some questions so good that you needed to write it down so that you can actually see your written answer on there and look at it and actually think about your answer? If you haven't done that in a while, you owe it to yourself. Do it. I promise you, you're going to shock yourself. You're going to learn something about yourself that you might not have even known prior to that. It's the best, one of the best exercises you can do is just ask yourself those questions. So anyways, going back to Wes, I think he's going back to prison. I mean, there's just no way around it. The dude assaulted somebody. I don't even think with the best lawyers he could get out of this, because it's on video. I really don't know. After seeing that video in so many different angles and different views, I don't know how he would ever. First of all, he can't claim self-defense. If a lawyer is able to get him off on self-defense, I would be shocked. Even the most crooked lawyer, highest paid, I don't think that lawyer could even get him off of this. That this video does not reflect self-defense so much. So what does that leave? If that's the case, if he has no chance of getting self-defense, now it's just a matter of what is the severity of these charges? What is he going to get charged for? Is this, I don't know what it would be called when you're assaulting somebody and there's multiple people there, ganging somebody and beating him in different, and using weapons. I don't know if that's assault and battery with a weapon. I guess that's what it would be called, right? Assault and battery with a weapon or something like that. I don't know, but these are serious charges, and I have no doubt he's actually going to be convicted of something pretty severe and pretty serious. And that would mean he's going back to prison. He's already got a record. I don't think he's been out long enough to even showcase. I don't know. And some of the videos he puts out too is not going to be reflected in a good light. The way he is always on a video, emotionally unstable, having mental outbursts, always yelling at people. He's very vulgar, very aggressive. It's just going to paint a bad picture for him. And now he gets an assault charge. And it's like, man, and all that combined, he's already been to prison. He's got a bunch of videos to where it showcases him being this aggressive guy who always talks about fighting and being this, being that. It's just not a good recipe for him. It just doesn't look like it's going to go in his favor now. So, I don't wish bad on anybody. I don't wish bad on people, even the people that are doing evil. However, if the people, I think I just said this last podcast, if the people are doing evil, then I'm okay with them being stopped by any means. So, that's just, any just means, let's put it that way. And in this case, if him going to prison is going to put a stop to him hurting people, deceiving people, manipulating, harassing and interrogating and bullying and shaming and all that stuff, then I'm okay with that. Obviously prison did him some good the first time. And from what I seen, watching his transcending from when he first started his coaching to where he's at now, it looks like the ego, the money, and the pride got the best of him. And the idolizing and the glorifying things on this earth, materialistic things, it looks like that got to his head, and he took the temptations. He was deceived and he took the temptations. Therefore, that's what you see in his behavior. Now, the problem with that is he's a leader. He's out here leading people. He's out here attracting people. He's out here training people how to run their business the way he does. And so he is actually causing a lot of harm out there. He is actually a huge problem for the coaching, the mentorship, sales, and the business atmosphere and environment and the industries. So therefore, like I said, I don't wish anything bad. I don't wish for people to go to jail. I don't wish for people to die. I don't wish for any of that. Even the worst of the worst people, I don't wish that on. However, I wish that if the people that are doing evil to be stopped at all means. So whatever that looks like is not up to me. That's up to the people actually there to serve that justice. All right, let me make sure I covered everything. I did. I mean, that was everything I wanted to cover. I want to get your thoughts. What do you guys think? You think Wes Watson is going back to prison? Let's respond. Give me your comments and your thoughts in the comments before he actually does. Let's see. Let's take a poll. Let's take a vote. I think he's going. And if you haven't seen the video of him beating up the dude with all his buddies in the gym, check it out. Like I said, John Bravo's podcast covered it. Who else? Matt Cox covered it, and several other people. You probably don't have to look that hard to find it, and make your assumption based on the video. By the way, that was Wes Watson's suggestion. Said, played the tape, showed the tape. It was self-defense. Okay, let's take a peek at the tape. I don't think that was a good suggestion, though. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to hop off here. I'll catch you guys next time on today's Misguided Mentors. Take care.